When people think of Christianity, they often try to make it something that's beautiful and glamorous, that involves tons of money, a successful life, happiness, peace, joy, and all those things. But I think that it's been misrepresented a lot in church and also in the world. The same thing happened when Jesus came the first time. Everybody was expecting him to come from the richest city, to be made royalty, to become a king, to rule among people, to be a warrior, and all of these things. And he was. It just is not in the way that people expected it. He was born in Bethlehem, grew up in Nazareth, was a carpenter, a servant, and never defended himself, died willingly, and was mutilated to where you couldn't even recognize him. And he did this also he could go to the cross and die for your sins. It wasn't what people expected. They expected royalty and just power and strength. And he displayed that, just not in the way that people expected. He displayed it in pain and in suffering and in sacrifice. And it was ugly. It was terrifying. It was scary. And the same thing is true nowadays. People are looking for the sunshine and rainbows instead of the storms and suffering and trials. And that's not where you're going to find the real Jesus. The real Jesus is going to be found in your dark points. If you're going to sit here and try to pretend that everything is okay, then chances are you're giving God a religious version of yourself when he's asking for the real version of yourself, which is going to look broken, which is going to look like dust, which is going to look like pain, which is going to involve fire and suffering and crying. But that's where he is. When he was at the Garden of Gethsemane and he said, Lord, please have this cup pass over. And when he was on that cross and he said, Father, why did you forsake me? Those were the moments when he was the closest to God, right before he did the most historical act of sacrifice and love that we know of. And that's where you're going to find God too, is in those dark moments when you're saying, this is difficult, take this away from me if you will, but if not, let me just be with you, Jesus, in this difficulty. And when you're on the cross, when you're carrying your cross daily and it feels like you can't go on, Father, why have you forsaken me? It was in that moment that he was the closest. It's in our ashes that we are the closest to grace. And that's why there's grace in ashes.